le genre du candidat, par exemple. Donc, notre dette de revenus est très simple. On parle de 103 000 par année, licence annuelle. Il faut faire attention ici, les organisations qui font affaire avec nous pour l'instant, c'est des organisations qui dépensent déjà plus de 300 à 400 000 en recrutement, en logiciel de recrutement déjà, donc 103 000 c'est très peu. Alors, pour aller chercher ce client, ça nous coûte seulement 15 000 Donc, de 2021 à 2025, on veut passer de 4 clients cette année, qui va nous rapporter 412 000 à 2025, à 80 clients. 81 à peu près à 100 000 entre le Canada, les États-Unis et les États-Unis et la France. Donc, plus à venir, donc on est vraiment scalable, comme on dit. Donc, on veut intégrer des nouvelles applications de gestion. On veut intégrer les questionnaires pour pouvoir intégrer la rétention des employés de la diversité au travail. Et pour ce faire, on a une très bonne équipe. On a moi qui a un MBA, mais qui a aussi de l'expérience en développement d'entreprise et de logiciels. On a Steve, qui est notre CTO, qui lui aussi a beaucoup d'expérience, plus de 25 ans en développement. Et on a une équipe d'aviseurs qui ont levé plus de 20 millions de dollars USD dans le passé et qui ont eu des postes stratégiques comme branding VP à IKEA ou à L'Oréal et ainsi qu'à Twitter. On a eu quelques distinctions aussi dont on est très fiers grâce à l'équipe qui nous ont permis d'être là aujourd'hui et de profiter de plusieurs subventions pour recruter les 5 développeurs avec qui on travaille, que ce soit par des bourses de stage au fédéral et au provincial. Donc, l'IA, ELIS.IA, c'est vraiment répondre à des objectifs précis de l'ONU. Donc, nous aidons avec l'application à participer à un monde plus inclusif, permettre à des candidats qui n'ont pas la première chance à l'emploi normalement, aider à éliminer la pauvreté chez les personnes immigrantes, réduire les inégalités et promouvoir cette croissance économique canadienne et un travail décent pour tous. S'il vous plaît, aidez-nous à donner la chance à tout le monde de pouvoir profiter du Canada à son plein potentiel. ELIS peut être une partie de la solution et je vous invite à contacter notre organisation pour nous permettre de vous présenter plus en détail notre innovation. Merci.
Thank you, Sam, for that presentation. You were 2 minutes above your time. So please keep your response to the feedback from the judges very short. We will start feedback off with Isaac. Isaac, please give your 2 minutes feedback. Thank you. Okay, so let's move over to Name while we're waiting for Isaac. Name, could you give your 2 minute feedback, please? Thank you.
Sure, yes. Hi, Sam, thank you for that presentation. I think you have a great product and a much needed product for sure. I think your presentation was fantastic. I like how you structured it. It was very organized. You introduced your product, you introduced the problem, you shared some research, you took a look at the competition and your roadmap. So I think that was very well done. I would have a few questions. I don't know that we have time for you to answer the questions, but maybe just some feedback for future presentations that you can incorporate. Is your product available in English and French?
Yes.
Yes. How does your product pull together the candidates that it proposes to organizations? How do you come up with that pool of candidates?
We do not provide a pool. We extract data from HR software that already existed in the business. So they already have a recruitment software that they use. So we are an API, so we extract the data, we analyze it, and we provide more information.
Okay. And for companies, then I would say that don't have that recruitment software, is that, part of the recommendation that they have to pair that along with this in order to have candidates. And then my other question would be around, is your product helping with gender diversity and racial diversity, both? Yes. Okay. And then the last point of feedback that I would have is, I know in my organization, one of the challenges we face is that self-identification is voluntary. And so we don't have 100% information on all of either our own employees or the candidates that we're recruiting, because not everyone opts to identify whether it be their gender or their racial diversity. So I would, in future presentations, perhaps suggest to incorporate how your product might account for that gap in information that's available.
Okay, to answer quickly, our algorithm reads the CV and knows already which one are from diversity and what type of diversity they're from. If it's woman or man, average age, a school graduation, how long, if they speak many languages, we know they may be not from here or they're from here, but they have different cultural background. The algorithm does that.
Okay, so it has
That's
logic
how we know. We don't
built
ask
in.
questions.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
fantastic.
Sam. Thank you for that response. So feedback from Isaac now. 2 minutes, please. Okay, so I guess I'm going to move ahead with Karima Catherine. Karima, please, 2 minutes.
Oui, bonjour. Alors, effectivement, super pertinent le produit. Je sais qu'on n'a pas beaucoup de temps, donc je te dirais, en fait, il faudrait focuser sur les informations de croissance du revenu et aussi de pénétration du marché. Ça, c'est les deux informations qui sont super importantes, qui moi, me manquaient dans le pitch. Et je sais que sur le board ou sur les advisors, il y a des gens en branding de compagnies qui sont prestigieuses, mais il faudrait vraiment expliquer c'est quoi le roadmap du produit, en fait. Et où est-ce que vous en êtes? Ouais, donc où est-ce que vous en êtes? Où est-ce que vous comptez aller? Et surtout, comment vous allez y aller, en fait? Autant en revenu qu'en pénétration.
Okay. Pour répondre rapidement, on focus vraiment sur les conseillers en diversité et inclusion. Donc, on va les chercher directement, on leur présente. On fait de la vente de cold call direct sur LinkedIn et par téléphone aussi. Et on leur présente et c'est eux qui nous représentent au sein de leur organisation pour le pitcher à leur CEO ou au service des ressources humaines. Et ça va beaucoup plus vite comme ça. On a fait vraiment des tests. On a vu qu'aller directement avec les RH, ça ne marchait pas, ça bloquait beaucoup parce qu'il y a comme une crainte un peu. Donc, un conseiller en inclusion, ça va beaucoup plus vite.
D'accord, OK. D'accord, merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much, Karima Catherine. Over to Kelly.
OK, alors bonjour Sam, merci pour cette belle présentation. Écoutez, je n'ai pas de questions pour vous, c'est juste pour dire que cette niche de la diversité et de l'inclusion, me fascine énormément et surtout quand c'est, je veux dire, jointe à la technologie comme vous l'avez si bien fait dans votre présentation. Donc, je trouve que c'est un projet, c'est une initiative qui est super nécessaire, surtout en ce moment. Et pour les générations à venir, pour qu'on n'ait plus à faire ça. Donc, c'est juste pour vous dire merci, c'est une belle présentation et puis bonne chance.
Merci.
Thank you for that feedback. Next, we will hear from, I believe the next person here is Cassandra. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great presentation. I really liked it, and I'm hearing so much about wanting to recruit diversity. So you're bang on with the time. You know what you're doing. I'd offer that if you can expand diversity, because right now you have the gender and the ethnicity, so to speak, of the racial. I'm hearing that they want to broaden it a little bit more. So what other categories you might be able to add would be beneficial at this time. Do you have a consulting portion of that? So once I identify the candidates, is there also an analysis of the workforce that provides some consulting back into the business?
Yeah, I have 3 agencies specialized in diversity and inclusion consultation that I've partnered with. So when I get to see a client, I include them as consultants because I'm not a specialist in that. I'm more in tech. So we team up to make sure that there's a cultural change, and we need consultants for that.
That's exactly the full package is what's required, because other than that, there's so many gaps inside. So great for thinking about that. My only other question, what you've identified is a really nice tool, but that middle ground businesses, you know, we always go for the big guys. There's a middle group who can't afford any of this. Those are a prime target area, depending on your price point, that would love that. The big guys tend to want to do themselves. They're just going to build it themselves. But that whole crowd, don't forget them for sure.
Yes, I will not forget them. It was very strategic for us to go with the big ones, just to have the money to develop the technology. But in year 3, we're going to be able to open it to smaller and smaller businesses, so it can be more inclusive as well as our mission, but as well as to have the big change, because the most part of our economy is based on small businesses. Exactly. And we need to target that. It's just strategic to get the money where it is.
Perfect. That's what I need to hear. Thank you very much. Other than
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Very great feedback. Thank you so much to all the judges, and thank you for your presentation, Sam. That was beautiful.
Thank you. Sorry for the timing.
Oh, it's okay. You did perfect. You did great.
Thank you.
Our final entrepreneur for this category for technology is Yamila Franco. Yamila, are you here? Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Perfect.
Okay,
The stage
so
is yours.
Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share today. Before I get going, I want to ask you, raise your hand if you have ever used a glow stick before. Now, I can't see you, but I'm pretty sure you are raising your hands. And so have I. But have you ever stopped to wonder where single-use plastic glow sticks come from? Think about it for a moment. What about plastic? Did you know that globally, the waste from plastic packaging alone results in between $100 to $150 billion lost due to cleanup costs and environmental damage? So what if we could replace this with sustainable, scalable solutions? You see, when I met Paige, my co-founder and serial inventor, she was creating alternatives to plastic products. And we knew that together we had found a way to disrupt the $400 billion single-use plastic industry, starting with one of the hardest and toxic products, glow sticks. The problem is, though, that with over 500 million glow sticks made annually, they mostly end up in the environment or in the landfills as non-recyclable waste. Add to that the fact that they're extremely toxic, they're harmful to marine life, they have a high environmental footprint, and the highest or the biggest industries that use them. It ends up that although we imagine that, people in music festivals and parties are the major users, the largest industries end up being emergency, military, humanitarian aid, with the global portable lighting market surpassing 4 billion and growing even throughout the pandemic. So our question became, what if every single one of these products was replaced with a non-toxic, versatile alternative? And what if we could expand the same ideology and implement it in other products? And so we created the Nyoka Light Wand, our first patented invention, which has now become the world's first non-toxic, biodegradable, portable, bioluminescent light source. This is the first of many unique, innovative products that use a novel bioluminescent technology as a source of non-toxic, environmentally friendly, and non-electric light. The best part of our innovative products is that everything else has also been designed with the earth in part. From our casing to novel desiccants, our products are being developed to follow a circular economy model. And circular economy, what it teaches us is that a way to reduce waste or eliminate waste from our systems is to use it as a resource. And on top of that, through our products, we have found ways to capture carbon emissions along the way. Again, reducing the environmental impact of our product from the whole production line. Our vision for our design lab is for this to be a foundation for many disruptive innovations that will lead the future of biotechnology and circular economy. Our goal is to take over the market as fast as capital will allow. And although audacious, this is reasonable because we're the first and only to market a sustainable alternative. And last year, 2020, the start of a Canada-wide ban of single-use plastics with commercial alternatives was also announced. We were also introduced to the one Canadian company listed as a government supplier of portable light sources, a reseller without a plastic-free option. So where does that leave us? Well, in less than 3 years, we've taken our novel technology from a lab concept to a successful oversubscribed Kickstarter project. We now have 2 successfully commercialized products, and we're growing our company and position it for global success. We are in the process of meeting the specs required by NATO, such as industry standard duration, and adding more various color options to diversify our offerings in the market. We have early interest with defense, humanitarian aid organizations, and especially after being welcomed as a signatory into the United Nations Global Compact through our work to advance the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And finally, we are cost competitive at scale, which is what is allowing us to advance and capture different parts and different segments of the market as we've shown in this graph. And so why now? Why is it important for us to act now? The first part is that we have a unique opportunity. With sweeping plastic bans across the globe, a high demand for sustainable ethical products growing from consumers, and increasing government support for clean tech and innovation, our company is uniquely positioned to access non-dilutive funding as well as the interest of various investors. And in terms of our advancing technology, our solution, the Nyoka Light Wand, has been patented in Canada, and we just got our patent last week, actually. We filed for patent as well in the United States, as well as in the European Unions, which is where our largest markets reside. We have various partnerships secured, and we're co-developing a technology with leading bioluminescent development companies. And we're using diversity as a strategy because we understand the power of maintaining our company being a female-led and female-owned company as well. So we might be a young company, but we have traction. Our global network of support includes MIT, the BioSummit, Cambridge Innovation Center, Project Zero, among others, and most recently, Startup Canada after winning the 2020 Canadian Export Challenge. Thus far, we have received $200,000 in non-dilutive funding, and we just secured $320,000 in investment from our first institutional investor, IndieBio, a leading global accelerator program for biotechnology companies. We also launched our minimum viable product, and we've secured $15,000 of early revenue from combination of our Light Wand as well as our other products in the market. And this is one of my favorite stories. This is one of our first paying customers who actually used the Light Wand in a NASA-backed mission simulation in Mars. How cool is that? So when it comes to our financial projections, we are expecting by the end of 2021 to cross our first 100,000 in revenue. Together with grants and the government funding that we have secured, we're also looking to reinvest our funding to reduce our expenses and reach a market cost that is very similar to our competitors. And the best part is that we've now secured them through our testing. We know that if we scale or when we scale, we will be cost competitive, which will mean that it will be more accessible for us to secure those markets, and we'll be cash flow positive by 2022. Our team is diverse, female-led, and is made of global experts with previous startup and scale-up experience. We have industry advisors, and our industry advisory team brings people from the military, defense, search and rescue, business development, as well as biotechnology. Our CEO, my co-founder, Paige, brings her expertise and network for MIT, BioSummit, and the Cambridge Innovation Center. And as you can tell, we are very proud of who we are and who we work with. You see,
You're over your 6 minutes by 2.
Oh, I didn't realize I went so far. This is my ending slide. So thank you so much for the opportunity to present, and I pass it over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Yamila, for that pitch. 2 minutes over, but it's fine. So I would start the feedback from Isaac. Isaac, are you ready for us now? Isaac?
Yes, I am. So, and I do apologize for that. Did everyone, can you hear me? Yeah, perfect. First off, congratulations, great presentation, well illustrated, and it's great to see even the social impact and mission that you have behind it. I noticed from your last slide, so your current raise, so the first raise that you did, I guess that was a seed round, was that initial seed round? So is this a bridge round or a Series A 1 million that you're trying to raise? Is the first question. And I saw towards the end the aspect of licensing. Is that the area you want to focus on, or is it to penetrate the client as a B2C, or do you see this as a B2B or licensing platform?
We see it more as a B2B because right now we've received more interest through emails, through our network and referrals from different people in search and rescue, for example. But an order from the search and rescue, it's pretty big, much different than B2C because we already sell B2C. So in order for us to fulfill those orders, we've realized that if we want to maintain our standards of circular economy, sustainability, it takes an initial investment or out end because those infrastructures for us to scale have not been built here. I'm in the West Coast. And so that's where that will go to, together with a licensing strategy, which is what we really hope to expand on to go into Europe and to be able to distribute through the United Nations, for example.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Isaac. The next feedback will be from Cassandra.
Thank you very much. Great presentation. I was very impressed with the whole movement that we're going into, this whole clean tech and the whole thing around the circular economy. My question, however, is one of the things I realized is that the circular economy in Canada and US is not taken off as fast as in Europe. So would you not make Europe so your first entry in and get the big splash there? Because we seem to be, and COVID's pushed them back even farther. So here it just doesn't seem to be moving as quickly.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And we noticed that as well. And that's why we actually apply for our patent in the European Union, because we actually expect that it will be easier for us to even set up production firsthand over there. And so, however, we are also getting interest from the Canadian government as well from defense, who already has pressure to transition from using their typical plastic products towards sustainable alternatives. So it's a dual strategy where we are focusing more in in Canada, which is where our advisors can really facilitate the connections, but we are preparing to access the European market.
Okay, perfect. Where's the production actually being done as you produce there? Is there a production facility someplace?
Yeah, we have a production facility. So we are part of a makerspace actually in Courtney. And so that's where some of our products are being made, and our assembly is done in Vancouver. So we have an external assembly facility.
Okay.
And then and the last thing is some of our products are made by our partners who are also based in the US.
Okay then. Now I know, last question, I know the Canadian government was really big and they're talking clean tech in a big way. Is that part of the super clusters or is that a separate entity altogether that they're trying to fund?
So the funding we've gotten has been more from NRC IRAP and the support. However, we are starting to tap into the technology supercluster in BC. Just recently, we secured a partnership with a firm that works more with intellectual property development, and the technology supercluster is involved in that space.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that. We will now go to Kelly.
Hi, Yanela, and thank you so much for this great presentation on clean tech. It's needed, yeah. So I just have one question, and please, I apologize if you touch base on that during your presentation, but I just wanted to know in terms of competition, if you do have competition, and if so, how are you different? How is this product super different from what others offer on the market?
Yeah, so one of the really interesting things and why we wanted to start in Canada is that there's no glow stick producer, a major competitor in Canada. So right now, for example, when it comes to distributing for the Canadian government, there's only a glow stick distributor, and they're buying directly from our major competitor, which is based in the US, and they're called Sedulous. Now, Sedulous has been very open about their weakness, which is the fact that they don't open sustainable alternatives. So for us, being able to enter the market together with compliance pushing for plastic-free alternatives, we have an entry, and that's really what differentiates us. Why wouldn't they be able to just come and duplicate our product? Well, our bioluminescent technology, we have the patents as well as a secured partnership with the place where it's being produced, which is based in the US. And the second part is that, one of our strategies, which we're not close to, is potentially if Sedulous wanted to invest in us and develop a partnership with us as well. We're very open to discuss with them, so if they're listening.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelly. Over to Karima Catherine.
Yeah, hi, Mila, thank you. So very quickly again, very interesting, super pertinent clean tech, environment. I have a couple of questions, and they mostly be how to maybe precise your pitch. Would be the market opportunity. I know you touched on it, but I would want to know more. I would want to know how much it actually, from a dollar perspective, how much, or euro perspective, how much you're looking at. You said that you won the export challenge from Startup Canada. I would have wanted to know a little bit more about what what's your plan for that, specifically because you said that your biggest market or more potential market is Europe. The other thing I think would be the provision in revenue was interesting where you're at, but I would like to know more. I know you're raising, but I want to know, okay, so how much money are you going to make? But also from who? You know, is this going to be grant? Is it going to be loans? Are we talking about securing procurement opportunities within the government? Like, I want to know more of that stuff, specifically because it's B2B, right? And then I love the fact that you're using diversity as a strategy. I said, keep it up and make that your thing. So that's all I have for feedback. So well done.
Yeah, so thank you for those questions. Really big procurement opportunities we have found have actually been linked to being diverse suppliers. And so right now we're in the process of securing the diverse supplier certification together with B Corp. And for us, we're pretty much on track to getting the B Corp. So that opens doors for us. In terms of the market, I mentioned different market sizes. And the reason I did is because portable lighting is 4 billion. I personally don't find 4 billion being that big, but I do find that the whole single-use plastic market is bigger. Also, the circular economy market is way bigger. So really, when we look at just the light wand, if we're able to secure, portable lighting and use our technology in different ways, not just as a glow stick, that's where we're heading with the technology development. And so with our revenue right now is very low because as a pandemic pivot, we actually had the idea to just start distributing in music festivals. And last year was going to be the year where we'd be like at Shambhala and in Burning Man, which some of these festivals have also banned plastic glow sticks. So we had a clean entry there. We had connections. When things shifted, we just decided to go the highest level of compliance, which was if we get our product tested and certified, we can sell to the government, but not just here. We can sell in the US. We can go to European Union, United Nations. So that is really what's our strategy right now. Depending on COVID, that will change because we are ready to go into more recreation, party, family markets, and we're selling B2C. But for now, it's government and search and rescue will be our primary market.
Okay, thank you.
Amazing feedback. Thank you. So thank you so much, Casey, for that question and feedback. Next, we'll hear from them. 2 minutes.
Yep, thank you. Thanks, Yumila. That was a great presentation. Very well organized, simple, impactful message, and extremely relevant area to solve for, given our current focus on plastic reduction in our country and in the world. And I would 2 asks I would have if you were to, present this in another forum. I think that you could touch on. One would be the lifespan of your product in comparison to your competitors. I know you touched on costing and being cost competitive, but I would also like to know more about the lifespan of your product. And the second, I know you're looking at this niche area of the market, but the plastic problem is so big and so relevant to so many different organizations and in so many different industries that I would probably encourage you or suggest that you include some content on how you would, once you get handle of this niche area of the market, how you would take your product and your knowledge and your certifications to expand beyond that, because there is just so much problems that need to be solved when it comes to plastic, for sure.
Thank you. We'll do that.
Thank you.
Excellent feedback. So thank you all. The judges have a tough decision to make right now. Judges, please kindly connect to your private deliberation room to discuss. And this brings us to the end of this category. The next session will begin at 4:45 p.m. Welcome back, everyone. We will now jump to creative art. This category is for creatives associated with the arts, including artists, graphic designer, author, and/or musicians. In this field, our entrepreneurs will be Ophenik Begun Leroy, Abi Ajibola, Eliana George. After each of the pitches, there will be time for our esteemed judges to share feedbacks. Our judges are Catherine Adai, CEO of Kela K, Patricia Bibia Mawa, the Executive Vice President, Silver Trust Media and Afro Global Television. Our third judge is Sylvia Gassana, the Regional Director, FEMISOL. And we've got Karen Grieve-Young, the CEO of Futurepreneur. And our last judge in this category is Lola Olorunfemi, the CEO, DSG Health Consulting Incorporated. As a reminder, for French participation, please select the interpretation button at the bottom right of your screen and choose the French translation option. Our first pitch will be delivered in French, and the following two will be delivered in English. So right now, I would like to start with Ophenik Begun Leroy. Are you ready?
Yes, hello. I am going to share my screen. Je vais partager mon écran.
Please go ahead.
Okay. Parfait. Bonjour, chers juges. Je m'appelle Orphanie Bégan-Leroy et aujourd'hui, je vous présente ma compagnie, Les Poupées d'Or, dont la mission est d'apporter une diversité et une représentation plus que nécessaire dans l'industrie du jouet en commercialisant de belles poupées noires aux cheveux afro. Alors, vous demandez pourquoi la poupée et pourquoi la poupée noire? Mes études ont démontré que le jeu est une partie importante du développement de l'enfant et jouer à la poupée permet aux enfants de développer leur imagination, leur langage et leur sens de l'empathie et de la compassion. La poupée en elle-même est une représentation directe de l'enfant qui transpose son identité sur son jouet, d'où l'importance que la poupée reflète les caractéristiques physiques de l'enfant parce que la poupée vient en quelque sorte valider l'apparence au niveau de la couleur de sa peau, de la texture de ses cheveux et autres aspects de son corps comme son nez, ses yeux et sa bouche. Donc, les poupées d'or, nous faisons croître la fierté chez les enfants noirs et nous renforçons leur amour-propre dès le bas âge avec nos poupées. Alors, il y a environ 7,7 millions de consommateurs ethniques au Canada, 1,2 million de personnes noires sont canadiennes, 34% des couples ont des enfants et ce chiffre est appelé à presque doubler d'ici 2036. Juste à Montréal, il y a 180 575 personnes noires. Malgré ces chiffres importants, le marketing multiculturel ne fait pas l'objet d'une attention suffisante dirigée vers cette démographie. Et la preuve, rentrez dans un magasin de jouets et vous allez voir, moins de 10% des jeux reflètent la diversité des enfants de la population canadienne. Moins de 5% des poupées offertes sont noires et de ces 5%-là, moins de 3% de ces poupées noires ont les cheveux en afro, la majorité ayant malheureusement les cheveux lisses. Donc, il existe un fort potentiel de marketing au Canada, surtout dans l'industrie du jouet. Les Poupées d'Or a donc décidé d'aller chercher cette part de marché et de combler cette lacune par la mise en marché de belles poupées noires aux cheveux frisés et afro pour que les parents puissent contrer les messages négatifs circulés à l'égard de la beauté noire et affirmer à leur enfant « Oui, tu existes, oui, il y a des gens comme toi dans le monde et oui, tu comptes autant que n'importe qui d'autre. » Donc, nous ciblons les enfants canadiens noirs âgés entre 2 ans et 9 ans et notre acheteur type est la femme noire âgée entre 25 et 44 ans. Donc, actuellement,
85% de notre marché, elle est francophone et montréalaise, et nous comptons expandre vers les autres provinces du Canada, telles que l'Ontario. Nos produits se distinguent de la compétition, entre autres par leur qualité et par leur prix abordable. Nos prix varient entre 24,99 et 49,99 versus une même poupée qui est vendue sur Etsy pour 70 $ par exemple. Et malgré tout, notre marge bénéficiaire est d'au moins 30%. Ce qui rend notre produit unique, en plus des belles coiffures originales et de certains vêtements rappelant la terre ancestrale, l'Afrique, ce sont les fiches d'affirmation positive qui accompagnent nos poupées, contenant des messages valorisants que les parents peuvent répéter avec leurs enfants à chaque jour. Ces fiches viennent en français, en anglais et en créole haïtien et seront même offertes bientôt dans d'autres langues comme l'espagnol, le lingala et le portugais. Donc, pour aller chercher notre clientèle cible, nous assurons une présence constante sur nos pages de réseaux sociaux où nous avons un total de plus de 7000 abonnés et nous focalisons notre publicité sur des groupes où notre marché cible est présent en très grande quantité. Par exemple, le groupe de Black Montreal qui possède à peu près 2000 membres. Avec une annonce dans ce groupe, nous avons pu générer 4000 $ de ventes en juin 2020 et plus de 5000 $ à la saison de Noël avec la poupée que vous pouvez voir ici qui était notre meilleur vendeur, la Imani. Donc, notre chiffre d'affaires est passé de 2200 $ en 2018 à 3600 $ en 2020 pour atteindre 12 000 $ en 3600 en 2019 pour atteindre 12 000 $ en 2020. Et ceci a été fait avec un minimum de marketing de notre part. Alors, imaginez ce que je peux faire avec un prix de 10 000 $ que je transformerai à coup sûr en 20 000 $ pour l'année 2021. Et voici comment. Par la mise en vente de nos poupées sur la plateforme Etsy d'ici avril 2021, par la diversification de nos produits, donc nous allons ajouter des poupées garçons, des tenues additionnelles pour les poupées filles, par exemple pyjama avec bonnet de nuit, des casse-têtes représentatives aussi. Nous allons collaborer avec des auteurs de livres pour enfants noirs et former des packages de livres et poupées. Nous allons enregistrer et diffuser un spot publicitaire sur la radio Centre-Ville qui a 1 million d'auditeurs par semaine. Nous allons collaborer avec des marketplaces en ligne qui se situent en France, par exemple Yeso, et on fait déjà affaire avec Yankadi. Nous allons approcher les CPE pour discuter de quelle manière est-ce qu'on peut diversifier les jeux des tout-petits et également en obtenant du coaching et du mentorat, qui est déjà le cas avec Yes Montreal et Femmes et Sort. La COVID nous force à réorienter nos efforts en ligne. Donc, la firme Day Agency Marketing va apporter son expertise avec l'audit complet de notre site web et l'optimisation totale et élaborer un plan marketing robuste pour nos réseaux sociaux et notre email marketing. Et finalement, on a bénéficié de beaucoup de couvertures médiatiques, par exemple Global News Montreal, CTV News Montreal, entre autres. Donc, et nous avons fait tout récemment le top 3 du mois de l'histoire des Noirs à l'émission Format familial diffusée sur Télé-Québec. Donc, pour faire connaître notre marque encore plus et pour nous établir en tant qu'incontournable des joies de la diversité, nous allons exploiter cette reconnaissance. Nous avons ici une entreprise qui est anti-récession parce qu'il y aura toujours des fêtes d'anniversaire, il y aura toujours Noël à fêter, il y aura toujours des baby showers. Et pour finir, ma mère qui nous a quittés en 2018, elle a fondé son école en 1997 et elle croyait qu'éduquer un enfant, c'était changer l'avenir d'une société. À ce jour, son école accueille encore plus de 400 enfants et est située en Haïti. Donc, moi aussi, je suis persuadée que rendre un enfant noir conscient de sa valeur et confiant en lui-même, c'est la clé pour créer cette société dont nous rêvons tant de demain. Et un prix comme 10 000 $ m'aiderait à mener à bien ma mission. Merci énormément.
Excellent presentation. Thank you, Ofeni. We'll open it up to judging feedback, and I will be starting with Catherine. Catherine, your feedback, please.
Hi. That was a wonderful presentation. And as a mom myself, I have to agree with a lot of the points that you made in your presentation. I know you didn't touch much in terms of competition in there because my children actually also have dolls very similar from another company here. So I see some similarities in terms of pricing and your packaging and your communication around it. So I know the competition isn't very high, but it's there. But I do think your dolls are scalable. What I like about them really is that the features are more defined than the ones that my daughter has. The ones my daughter has looks a little bit more like geared towards kids. So I do like in terms of the features, actually like women that they can aspire to be like. I thought it was a very good presentation. I thought your scalability is great. The platform you're planning to sell on is good. Etsy, Etsy to start. Are you planning on having your own e-com platform or only on Etsy?
I'm actually, I do have my my own online store, and it's on Shopify. So I do have my own website, lespoupedors.ca, where I sell the dolls, yes.
And do you, these are bought in bulk? So it's not like when somebody orders, then you go and order and then you ship it out to them? You have
Exactly, they're bought in bulk. I started with buying them individually, but as the demand got bigger and bigger, I was obliged to buy in bulk, especially with the COVID. It was really hard to go into stores and to buy the dolls. So now I just moved on to ordering them in bulk, which makes it very accessible, even in times of COVID where the stores are closed, where here in Quebec, for example, toys are considered as non-essential products. So if I have them in bulk, they come straight from China to my home. I personalize them and I can still ship them because Canada Post is still working. And we're also working with a local distribution company. So we're always in business.
Okay, awesome. Those were my two questions. So I wish you well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Catherine. Over to Patricia for your feedback.
Okay, hello.
Hi.
I think your presentation was amazing. I actually love a lot of things about your concept. I like the affirmations, and I love the, the hairstyles, the fact that you're going to have some special hairstyles on the dolls, because, Black girls, their hair means a lot to them.
Yeah.
I like, the platform that you're going to be selling at, and I think this is a very good business concept. I would have loved to hear more about, how you're going to reach your target audience, more about how you're going to engage them and get them really interested in this product. Other than that, I thought you did great. I really love the concept. I love the product, and I think it's going to fly if you do your groundwork well.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And is it a question? Because I can't reply. I can answer to you as to how we go get our target audience. Right now, we're mainly focused online, and we do targeting de la publicité payante, like a paid publicity, especially on Facebook and on Instagram, and that has brought to us a lot of views and a lot of customers as well. And we interact a lot with our customers, and we plan on collaborating with influencers who are in a similar mission as we are.
Okay. Great response. Very great response.
Thank you.
Next, we have Sylvia.
Hello everyone. Hello Anthony.
Hello.
Bonjour à toi. Je vais te parler en français. Belle présentation. Bravo. J'ai beaucoup aimé la structure. Tu étais claire. La mission est très claire aussi. Je vois que tu as fait une belle étude de marché. J'aurais aimé que tu parles un peu plus de la compétition. Je trouve que ça n'a pas été mentionné exactement comment tu te distingues. Est-ce que tu as d'autres entreprises qui font des poupées noires aussi, ou est-ce que tu es la seule? Comment tu te distingues? Ça, j'aurais peut-être aimé avoir un peu plus d'informations là-dessus. Puis, c'est quoi ton objectif, par exemple, sur une année? Où est-ce que tu te vois en termes de chiffre d'affaires? Tu as mentionné beaucoup de stratégies, mais à un moment donné, il faut quand même focuser pour la première année. Je me vois à tel chiffre d'affaires, de vraiment pouvoir avoir une certaine structure en termes de vente, 1 an, 3 ans, 5 ans, puis vraiment définir c'est quoi ta stratégie de croissance pour la première année. Parce que tu as mentionné beaucoup de choses, mais juste de pouvoir avoir le focus là-dessus. Et peut-être pour les présentations futures, juste parler un peu de ton expérience, de qui tu es, c'est quoi ton expertise et ton expérience à toi en tant qu'entrepreneur, de raconter un peu ton histoire personnelle, juste pour qu'on sache c'est quoi l'expertise que tu amènes, c'est qui, c'est qui l'entrepreneur, au lieu de nous parler du produit, du projet, mais en tant qu'entrepreneur, c'est qui tu es, puis peut-être parler de ton équipe si tu as une équipe qui t'accompagne dans cette croissance-là. Parce qu'à un moment donné, il va falloir que tu t'équipes. Donc, c'est quoi ta vision aussi? Comment tu vas pouvoir aller chercher d'autres personnes pour t'aider à supporter la croissance?
Parfait. Merci énormément. Merci pour cette belle intervention. Et en 6 minutes, il y avait tellement de choses à dire. Donc, j'ai cru que, bon, moi, en tant qu'entrepreneur, oui, je suis entrepreneur, j'ai une aspiration, j'ai une mission. Je veux vraiment servir à élever les enfants afro-descendants et noirs, parce qu'on sait que dès qu'ils sont tout petits, ils sont déjà conscients en fait de leur couleur de peau, de la différence qu'ils ont entre eux et leurs autres petits amis. Donc, c'est là qu'il faut déjà commencer à les édifier en fait pour qu'ils soient fiers de qui ils sont. Donc, en termes de compétition, oui, il y a quelques autres compagnies à Montréal qui le font et j'en suis très consciente. Le concept est le même, mais justement, et c'est pour ça que j'ai inclus les affirmations, par exemple, en anglais, en français et en créole, et on va avoir d'autres langues aussi, parce que je veux vendre plus qu'une poupée. Je veux que les parents aussi soient impliqués avec l'enfant pour qu'ils puissent construire l'enfant aussi et diversifier nos produits. Par exemple, vendre des casse-têtes, vendre des poupées garçons aussi, parce que ça, c'est très en demande. Et ça, c'est quelque chose que la compétition n'a pas encore. Et en termes d'équipe, pour l'instant, en fait, c'est moi, c'est mon mari et moi, parce que nous faisons tout à partir de la maison. Et justement, avec les 10 000 $, on va pouvoir aller chercher, engager, par exemple, une personne qui va s'occuper de la confection des vêtements, ce qui est déjà le cas. On travaille en fait avec des personnes contractuellement. Et on n'a pas une équipe fixe, donc c'est vraiment telle personne qu'on va voir qui fait les vêtements, etc., etc. Donc, c'est vraiment comme ça qu'on fonctionne. Et sur le long terme, sur un an, c'est vraiment de multiplier, de passer de chiffre d'affaires de 12 000 $ l'année dernière et de doubler ce chiffre cette année. Avec le 10 000 $, on ira à coup sûr à 20 000 $ parce que c'est un produit qui se vend de lui-même. Et vraiment, notre but, c'est de devenir un incontournable dans tout ce qui est jouets représentatifs et pour les enfants ethniques, autant surtout sur les plateformes en ligne, parce que aujourd'hui, c'est vraiment là que le focus se trouve.
Thank you so much, Ophani. I could, the passion is there when you're speaking in your language, right? Yeah. So over to Karen, please, 2 minutes for your feedback.
Okay, sorry for that.
Thank you very much, Orphanie. That was wonderful. And I am happy that I speak un peu de français so that I could hear you some in your mother tongue, because I agree. I could see the animation in your face when I was hearing your presentation by translation, but actually hearing you in French, everything comes to life that much more, which is brilliant. I will admit, I am a white mother of a white daughter in her teens, and so I'm well past the doll age in my household, and she wasn't particularly into dolls, but I remember when she was, how important that affinity and getting the right shading and the right coloring, and so a doll that exactly as you described would speak to her. So I could absolutely see the need. I heard Catherine's comments, and again, I don't know price points actually right now. I did hear in your presentation that one of the ways that you're differentiating is not only the exact look of the dolls with their hairstyles and their outfits, but also that you have positioned yourself at a lower price point than a lot that's on the market. So I think that however you can differentiate is really important. And if that's one of your differentiators, that's fantastic. I loved that you have the different language options.
Thank you.
French and English to the French Creole and Portuguese. And I think you may have mentioned another as well. And that I could see being very exciting and relevant to the diversity of Black children. And as you said, as you extend to boys, not just girls, and also to adults. I love that. So I love that you're thinking very diversely about the audience that you'd have. I guess a question, and I also loved your story. I think you referenced your mother in your story. So
yes.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
I guess a question I have is, because you're selling online, you spoke about Montreal's market size and the size of the population in Canada, but online, the world is global. And I'm wondering whether you're looking to penetrate in other communities outside of Canada. New Orleans came to mind in the US. Are you looking at expansion internationally or broader across Canada?
Oh yes, definitely, definitely. We are actually right now on a marketplace with an online marketplace called Yankadi, and they're in France, because France is about 20% of our clientele right now. And we are definitely planning on scaling to include other markets such as the US. We have had clients from Belgium, from the UK as well. So the fact that it's just that right now, our main market is really in Montreal, but we do have clientele in other countries, and we definitely do plan on reaching them with targeted marketing to target them, to go get the clients in France, in the US, in Brazil even, because there's a very, very large portion of Afro-Brazilian population over there, which is why we also think of we want to add Portuguese to our affirmations. So definitely it's a worldwide market, and we are definitely looking into touching base on those markets.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good,
Good luck.
great response. Thank you so much. So now the final remark will come from Lola. Lola, can we have your feedback? 2 minutes, please try to stay on that.
Okay, I'll go real quick. I thought that was a very lovely presentation, and I love the way you personalize it, and you mentioned your story, bringing your mom in, so it shows you have a connection with your story. I like the fact that you involve diversity in terms of language, communication, because I think a lot of products, your product, it's important that it speaks to your audience. So I think it's really good. So my question is, I'm in nursing, and there are some nurses that have dolls that wear scrubs, and it speaks to children, and I'm a children's book author as well. It speaks to children that love to envision their future in terms of the dolls they have, so they can build their dreams. Do you have the concept to accommodate people from different disciplines, so they are not just streamlined in a particular outfit? Do you have that versatility in terms of people approaching you, and inclusiveness? I guess that's the word in future.
Yes, definitely. That is definitely part of our diversification, the diversification of our products. We plan to add more outfits for our dolls. Well, my daughter just got here. And so we do plan on adding, let's say, teacher outfits, doctor outfits, et cetera, et cetera. So we are going to add more outfits that will come for our dolls in the future, definitely.
Thank you so much. And one more question that I have is, if, because you mentioned that we have African population all over in Brazil and all of that stuff, are you prepared for mass production if this hits the shelf in the next 3 months, 6 months, 1 year? Do you have the funds? Do you have the labor to actually, make this a universal product if the need be?
Thank you very much for this question. We are definitely going at our pace based on the funds that we have right now. And with the $10,000, we are definitely looking to go into purchasing more products because the demand is there. And we don't, like what we said, because I invested very minimal in my marketing because I know that I would not be able to supply for the demand. That's why I haven't been going hardcore on the marketing and in targeting different countries, but still the orders are coming in. But definitely with the proper funds, I will most definitely be able to supply the demand, no problem, because we are dealing with suppliers who can furnish us from like thousands of dolls at a time. So it's not a problem for them at all.
Thank you very much. That's all for me.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Excellent question, Lola, and very great response, Ufani. So at this point, the next speech will be delivered by Abi Ajibola. I'm sorry about that. Abi Ajibola, are you ready to take the stage, Abi? The floor is yours.
Yes, I am. Hello, everyone. Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you.
Okay, thank you. So I'm just going to be sharing my screen real quickly. Please confirm you can see my screen.
I can see your screen and you're good to go. Your time starts now.
Okay, thank you very much. Hi, everyone. My name is Abby, and I'm the owner and creative director of Memoirs Photography by Abby. We're a family-oriented portrait photography company that specializes in creative newborn children, family photography, whatever, beautiful pictures of people. I have 12 years of experience in professional photography, but this is only my second year as a full-time entrepreneur. Our mission is basically to help our clients love and appreciate the beauty in themselves and the relationships around them by freezing a moment in time and creating ageless, picture-perfect portraits to be treasured for generations to come. You'd agree with me that the demand and the need for beautiful photos never ends, from the birth of a new baby to a milestone birthday, families, graduation, and all that. Okay. However, there has been an increased opportunity in recent times. With global migration rate being about 3.5%, we all have loved ones far all over the world. And also the impact of COVID that has caused a lot of people to stay back at home, keep your distance and all of that. It has increased the level of emotional distress and loneliness in people. I'll take my story, for example. My mom, who I'm very close to, she's actually on this call right now. It's been almost 2 years since we last saw, and it's been very emotional for even my kids and I. You know, we only speak on the phone, but we haven't seen. We applied for a visa for her to come visiting less than almost a year ago. And thank God she finally got the response yesterday. And you should have heard her being so overjoyed in the fact that she could come to see her grandkids. So it's a hard time it's a tough time for a number of people. Now, how do we come in? We help with virtual celebrations is the way people are going right now. They celebrate their birthdays by sharing milestones, you know, the birth announcements and everything. These are some screenshots of some of my clients who celebrate their birthdays online. So it really gives that joy and the feeling of, you know, like you're actually having a party, even though you can't with restrictions right now. Our target market are basically females between the ages of 20 and 59 years old. They have a taste for high quality and value for price. They're family oriented and they value relationships. They have an average minimum household income of over $60,000 and they enjoy personalized services. They don't just want anyhow, any kind of product, they want personalization. Why are they going to buy from us? We believe our competitive advantage is the excellent client testimonials we get. About 70% of our clients come through referrals, and we think this is a great testament to our performance. The personality, as the lead photographer, I have a personality that draws people in, and that always shines through and gets them every single time. Personalization is also one of the beautiful things we do. We don't just take pictures for anyone. It's not generic in that sense, it's personalized. We make sure we listen to the needs of the customer and we build something that they want. And at the end of the day, they're always wowed by the result. We're a family-oriented business, so we have this vast experience in photographing children. You agree with me that children are not the easiest to photograph, especially if you want to get those beautiful moments and catch them in their element, and we do that just right. Also, we are committed to innovation and creativity. It's never the same in Memoirs Photography. We have high online visibility and engagement with over 7,500 Instagram followers. This is a major funnel for us where a lot of our customers contact us as well. Great value for price. We're confident that we offer great value for the price that we charge. And we have a deep understanding of the African immigrant community. This was a major entry strategy for us into the market in late 2019, because we understood the African immigrant community, because they feel like their stories are often not told in ways that are authentic to them. So we're able to protect that culture and heritage, and we do that quite nicely. Our uniqueness is also in our style. We offer glitz and glam. Most of our clients don't just want things that are plain vanilla. So we go all out to make sure we meet that need. Our strategies for growth is three-pronged. Market penetration. We get referrals already, but we're going to incentivize our customers by giving them something to refer customers to us. We're going to launch online and plastic gift cards where people can buy a session for people even from a distance. Continuous social media engagement and also in-person sales is key to us. We want to diversify our market by aggressively focusing on paid online ads, Facebook and Google ads, growing our email list, getting more involved, more visible in our local community and Facebook groups, collaboration with businesses that also have similar target markets to us, and having a physical space where not only do we have client shoots, but also consultations and sales. For the most part, before now, most of our sessions have been in paid studios, but having a space exclusively to us with the possibility of even renting out of other photographers would give us a lot of leverage. This is a project that is ongoing and that we are hoping to complete in the next month. Also, we're going to continue to develop our product in such a way that we listen to the needs of the customers and give them what they need per time. Our growth is projected, we're projecting a growth of up to $142,000 by 2022. Our 2020 performance is essentially a half-year performance because for the first half of the year, due to COVID lockdown and so many other things, we were not able to function. But since COVID, we have grown by over 100% in the monthly average revenue, which also alludes to the point I made about virtual celebrations and people wanting to appreciate themselves. With the rise up investment, we intend to complete our ongoing project, which is the studio development, invest in props and equipment upgrade, and also aggressively focus on marketing and advertising to diversify our current market. This is a snapshot of our website and our Instagram page, which are major channels and funnels through which we get our customers. I mean, where they're able to check our portfolio and see what we're doing at the moment. Also, we also have a customer satisfaction survey that we send to our clients after every session. And this has been the outstanding performance we get from them. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for timing yourself. You were right on time there. Okay, so we'll open the floor for feedback, and I will start with Lola. Lola, please go ahead.
Hi, Abby. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Hi.
I thought that was a very detailed presentation. I thought that was very good. I love the way you presented it. I would just advise you to slow down next time. However, my question will be that for your competitors, for example, like Walmart, you know, the big guys, what are your plans to stand out in a year, 2 years? Because I'm not sure Walmart is going anywhere. So do you have strategy to constantly hold and maintain your audience to keep them engaged? We have the audience now, like we have the audience now. What plans do you have to keep them coming? Whether as they grow from 5-year-old to now they're getting married, now they're having grandkids, and now graduation. What are your long-term goals to actually keep them engaged?
All right, thank you. Our competition, we definitely have competitors, but we don't consider Walmart our competitor because they provide very vanilla kind of photography. So we are more specialized, more personalized. And so we have a few other competitors definitely around us. That's why we're so big on customer relationship, because people will buy from people they like and trust, not just because of the technical perfection. So you have a lot of photographers that are also good, but we think that will always continue to distinguish us. So we keep in touch. We always keep in touch with our customers, always notify them of when we have new maybe promotions and all of that stuff. So it's basically that customer contact that we ensure that we maintain. And of course, we continue to reinvent things. We have customers in the last 1.5 years that we've been in operation. We've had people that have come 3-4 times, you know, even within that time. So we continue to refresh. It's a creative industry. You can't be static. You can't continue to offer the same thing over and over. So there's always going to be something that brings them back. And of course, milestones. There's always going to be something to celebrate. There's always going to be something new. There's just, so we just continue to leverage that.
Thank you. And one more question, another question that I have for you is, what other community, do you have any community engagement and your contribution to the environment as you grow in terms of what do you use? Are they, you know, environment friendly? Are they, you know, in terms of things like that?
Yes. So basically what we use for our sessions are more like things you would find in your home. It's just, so we don't really produce any waste in that sense that would be harmful in any way to the environment, textiles. So it's just decor and things like that. So there's hardly anything that has any negative impact on the environment. If I got your question right, it was mainly about environment or some other.
What is community engagement?
Okay, community engagement. Yeah, as a new business, we're still growing on that, but definitely one of our main focus is also to get involved with charity organizations, such that we can contribute. For example, Make a Wish, where you have children that are battling terminal sicknesses and all of that. And so we want to get involved with charity organizations and offer our services to them.
That's great. That's awesome. I love your response to that. And I think I love that vanilla versus the customized. That's a great concept. So over to you, Karen. Let's listen to your feedback.
Hi, Abby. Thank you. That was beautiful to see your pictures and why you have so many repeat customers, for sure.
Thank you.
I think for me, I was very impressed by the way you described your target market. You've really thought about who she, and to a large extent it would be she is, who's buying, who wants to really document and capture these memories. So I thought that was really compelling. So that was fantastic. I guess one of the questions I have, I didn't really get a sense of your sales trajectory. You kind of, and I realize that COVID makes any sort of run rate very difficult, but you had 2020 and then 2021, 2022 projections, but not kind of where 2020 came out of necessarily. And I'd love to understand better, how many customers were there? You might have had it, but I missed it. What's your price point? How many clients and customers do you have now? And how do you anticipate building that? Are you looking for more from the same customers? Or are you looking to really grow your customer base and then grow your frequency?
Okay, yeah. I did talk a bit about that, but like she said, I was rather fast trying to beat the time.
I missed it, I apologize.
Yeah, no, I was really fast. So 2020 was our first year as a business in operations. We did start.
I did miss that.
Yes, by November, December 2019. So it was basically starting in 2020. So that was actually like a start for us. But as of right now, we've got over 100 paying customers. But bear in mind that photography is also something that people don't purchase necessarily frequently. So it's usually during events and stuff. So yes, we do have definitely about 100 or more customers and in terms of growth, so that 2020, like I said, was like a half-year performance, because for the first half of the year, there was little or no activity, with everyone trying to understand what COVID was about, and the fear level was very high in lockdown. So that performance was more or less half year, like starting from July, and then people started getting a little bit more comfortable. But what we want to do is, to expand in our markets that we already have right now, but beyond that, get aggressive in pursuing a larger market and getting a bigger share of the pie. Because right now, like I said, it's mainly through referrals. There hasn't really been any focus on targeted advertising and paid promotions. So we're planning to do that. One of the things that has sort of slowed us down a bit is the presence of a studio, a physical space to do all of these things. Up until now, what I did was to pay for a studio lease. So I used to go to the studio, pack all of my props, go to the studio for each session and come back. It wasn't efficient in terms of time management. It wasn't efficient in terms of anything, but it was for me to build a portfolio, gain an entrance into the market, get recognized, build my portfolio and become more visible. And that has worked up until now, where we're now developing the studio such that we're going to have a creative space to really express ourselves. And that is why we're very sure that we're going to outperform, even that was a very conservative projection. My average price point typically is about $500 per client. And so doing about 16 clients comfortably every month, it's 100,000. It's an easy catch. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great response, Abby. And because we are so we need to be on time here, I will move to Sylvie. Please keep it at 2 minutes. And Abby, let your response be really short. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Abby. That was a great presentation. As the judges mentioned, you spoke very, very fast. Yes. So it's hard to catch up. But I love the presentation. It was really colorful, really greatly done. I want to know, are you alone in this business? So in terms of growing, you mentioned you want to double your income. Do you have a plan for that? Are you going to be alone in this business, or are you trying to maybe have more people to help you grow the business? Because it's a very, very, very competitive market. So, and just want to know too, how are your clients reaching out to you? So what's, is it Instagram? What's the best way for clients to reach you to have your services? Okay. And I want to know, so for with the COVID, how have you, it's been tough. All the events were canceled. How did you innovate yourself in the business? Understand what I mean?
Yes. Okay, so I'll start by growing capacity. So for now, I'm definitely able to meet the demands in terms of needs and all of that. Photographing, so there are different stages in the, would I say, production? So there's the actual session planning, there's the session, and then there's the post-production, which is the retouching and editing. That takes a significant amount of time, probably about 60% of the time required for the shoots. Right now, depending on how the demand is, I do most of it. But as time goes on, sometimes when I get a lot of demand, I do outsource that. And the good thing is I'm not limited to geographical space. So it's just online dependent. I'm able to send to subcontract some of those things. So that is so while I don't have a paid employee in my payroll, I do have people I subcontract the bulk part of editing, which is a significant amount of time. So that frees me up to do other stuff in the business. Also, as a team, I have an accountant who helps with things like bookkeeping. And as part of the strategy for this year, like I said, last year was very skeletal. This year with better structure, that's when we're planning to go full scale, and then we'll be engaging with a marketing agency, a small marketing agency to work on marketing. So with marketing, accounting, and editing being out of the way, it frees up more time for creativity and innovation for me to handle the ones that come in.
Okay, thank you so much for that response. Now we'll move over to Patricia.
Well, congratulations on your presentation. I thought it was great. I used to be a photographer myself. And
oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was a big wedding photographer in Ottawa for 4 years when I just came to Canada. And then eventually I stopped doing photography because it became so competitive. And now people have phones and they can take, I've taken some very great pictures to my phone that I've even published in magazines. So it's a very competitive industry at the moment. And the fact that I don't have a space, I think it's a little bit of a minus for you at this time. And with the COVID situation, I think a lot of people will be skeptical about having a photographer come to their home or even having somebody at close proximity to take their photos. However, there's a new trend that just started, which I think is going to revamp the industry again, whereby people are, doing photo shoots for their birthdays. It's a new trend. So I think if you can capitalize on that trend, maybe even just, find out whose birthday is coming up on social media and send them, photos. Again, as I said to the previous presenter, I would love to hear more about marketing because marketing is my thing. And I believe that marketing is one way that you can actually, go ahead of the pack if you have some very unique, different strategies that will get people's attention. You do have some great ideas, but I want to see more ideas that will kind of, wow me when it comes to marketing. So I'd like to find out more about how you're navigating the whole COVID challenge in terms of people's reluctance to have people come into their space at this time.
Okay.
So before you answer that question, Abby, I will just go ahead and ask Catherine to either give a feedback or ask a question, and you can take both at the same time, just because we're running out of time.
Sure.
Hey, Abby, great presentation, congratulations.
Thank you.
All the judges have asked really great questions. I work with a lot of photographers because I'm a fashion designer. So my questions, my comment really is about your physical space. It's overhead costs that I think people really should be cautious of when they're taking on things like that. I have a photographer who has contracts with different spaces, and depending on what the client likes, they may book that space so they don't have to pay monthly rent for a space if they don't really need to be paying monthly rent for that space. That's one. And two, how do your customers get their pictures after? Or is it electronic? You email it? Is it a CD? And also, you right now, due to family photography, would you consider expanding to doing fashion or content or social photography, which is really becoming big also?
All right, thank you all for the great questions. So I'll just start with the space. So I did mention that I'm working on getting a physical space, which is a project ongoing. So I actually do have one right now, which is my basement. So it's not an additional cost in that sense. So I did think through that and make sure that, so that's a cost that is being contained in my basement, and it will be completed by the end of March. So that's going to be a big one for us as well. In terms of how our clients, all our photography is in packages. So we offer both digital and print. And in terms of talking about competition with smartphones and everything, that is one of the uniqueness that we have attached to our product. We make sure that people go with physical images and not just digital, because anything could happen to digital images. We all have pictures we never get to print, we never get to see. We don't even have the time to sift through them and look for those photos. But when we give them those pictures in their hands, they're able to display them and remember those moments. So that is a key part of our strategy. In terms of—
1 minute more, please.
Okay, in terms of marketing, like I mentioned, we're going to be working with a marketing agency to make sure that we're able to target our ideal clients. We'll be able to identify the personas of people that often patronize from us and that are likely to like our services. So we're going to target those specific clients and make sure that they get to hear from us as well. So in terms of competition, we're aware, we know about competitors, but we'll continue to focus on our strengths and continue to push for that. Personality-wise, customer service, customer engagement, relationship, and yeah, that's basically our focus for that. And competitive pricing, of course.
Perfect. Thank you so much for responding to that as quick as possible. Now we move to the final pitch from this category, and that comes from Ileana George. Ileana, are you ready for us?
Yes, I'm ready.
Perfect. The stage is yours.
Come a little closer. A little closer. I have a really big secret, and today is a day that I'm going to share my secret with you. He's green and he's 9 feet tall. And he also came with some of his friends. Greetings, everyone. My name is Ileana George, and I am the creative director here at Marquee Letters Toronto. We are a custom prop rental company, primarily featuring marquee letters, custom built props, and life-size statues. Our company was founded in 2017 by my husband and myself. We started the company based on a need. Our need was we needed to support our autistic son in his journey to have IBI one-on-one therapy so that he can have a normal life just like other children. And hence this business was born. We later expanded our product line to include statues such as animals after we noticed he pointed for the first time by pointing to a starfish and pointing to other animals. It was the only time we were able to have him engage and interact with us is when he saw animals. And hence the reason our production has grown from just letters to life-size statues and animals. We are comprised of 5 people. So that's myself. I'm a self-taught prop picker and prop designer. My husband has 15 years of experience in building. We have Cheryl, who's our administrator, and we have 2 very well-mannered delivery drivers that do our setup and deliveries for us. Our mission is to create props that produce the most realistic experiences and create unforgettable memories. We want to ensure that each encounter leaves our customers satisfied, no matter what items that they use. Our products are a great way for kids who don't have the opportunity to go to a farm or have ever been to a museum to have this in their home, at their parties, at an event space that they may be hosting their parties, and so on. Our props are also used for grand openings, corporate events, bridal showers, and weddings. We build our props primarily from wood. This enables us to keep our costs low. It enables us to make our products customizable so we can paint them easily. And it also allows us to be able to maintain them and repair them very easily. This is one edge we have over our competitors in the market who currently carry marquee letters or letter tables. And theirs are made of styrofoam and acrylic. Acrylic is a material that if it's broken or chipped, you're unable to repair it as easily as you can with wood. You also are unable to paint over acrylic. You may be able to paint some styrofoam, but the reason we use wood is for the versatility of it, right? Our target audience are women between the ages of 18 to 44 who are trendy and risk takers. We leverage social media platforms such as Instagram, where we have a following of over 16,000 people. And we use TikTok to engage and connect with our clients daily. So this is our #1 marketing strategy. We use social media to market our products. And whenever we have a new product in stock, we host photo shoots. So we show the customer in advance how the product can be used so that they can imagine themselves using the product as well. We currently have established relationships with several vendors across the GTA. So the 40% of our businesses come from planners, event planners, wedding planners, planners that set up for nonprofit or for-profit events and brand launches. And so our relationships with our vendors is very valuable to us. We thrive on our relationships. And because of that relationship, we were able to pivot our business in the heart of the pandemic to come up with new ideas to service our clients safely. So when the pandemic hit, we were able to set up outdoor setups for drive-by parties. And so we still were able to sustain some income during the pandemic safely. To date, our business has made close to $1 million over the 4-year period. And for 2021, we have expected sales of $550,000 with an increased product line. We are also on the verge of launching our 3-part series book where we plan to teach other entrepreneurs from beginning to seasoned entrepreneurs who are in the prop rental business looking to grow and expand into the type of services we offer. We have currently secured a manufacturer in the Philippines that will allow us to scale our business and grow into production. We are seeking funding to scale our business into the film and television industry with a focus on kids networks and on kids network and production. This type of expansion will allow us to do what we love most, which is supporting Autism Ontario and supporting charities that support children with autism. So by expanding our business and expanding our revenue, we can donate more than the 10% that we currently do. Our end goal is to support 2 to 3 families entirely who typically need $86,000 to facilitate therapy for their children. Thank you.
Great presentation, just right on time. So now we'll start the judges' round of feedback, and I'm going to start with Catherine.
Hi, Eliana, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, that was a wonderful presentation. It was very clear, very concise. I actually thought the beginning was very creative and kind of funny. How you kind of came in close and then you pulled into your friends behind you. So it's interesting that you've gone from making letters to these structures and statues. So does the name kind of not quite fit anymore because you don't only make letters?
So just as of yesterday, we rebranded and we got our articles of incorporation, and our new name is now Prop Depot Inc.
Okay, that's a lot more fitting, because if I went on your website, some marquee letters, I would think that you still only did the letters. And I see where you're trying to scale to in terms of film and television and your social footprint. I just have to clarify, I think I missed the part about the sales. So you're projecting 500,000 in sales in 2021?
This year, that's correct.
What were your sales last year?
Our sales were $180,000 because of the pandemic, for obvious reasons. So we lost over, I would say, $300,000 in sales from last year.
Okay, so the year prior, so roughly your sales are between 2 and like 400,000.
Correct.
A year. Okay, so your projection's not way off. It's just, I think maybe add like another 100,000 or something.
Yes, that's because we're anticipating those sales from the revenue from the book that we're about to launch.
Okay. The only feedback really for the presentation while you were giving the numbers, I know you were, I think maybe you were recording yourself as you were going, I couldn't tell, but just to have seen maybe some charts or some graphs on the screen would have helped me to remember the numbers and kind of follow a bit better. I was trying to follow while you were talking about the sales and the projections and the 40% where, who supports you and stuff with the planners. It would have just been nice to see that on a graph while you were talking. Just me, but I'm a visualizer, and it would have just been more helpful for me. But I think it's a great business idea. I see how you can really transition into film and television, and how that would really go well for kids. And I think your social cause is also very good. And I wish you well.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. So we'll move right over to Patricia for our 2 minutes feedback or questions.
Yeah, thank you very much for the wonderful presentation. And I do love it when, entrepreneurs have a purpose behind their business, because the reason I'm still in business is because I figured out why I'm doing this right from the beginning. And I like that your son inspired you to do this. I like the presentation. I like everything. But my dilemma is, I think that your business is doing really well. So I'm wondering if this 10,000 is going to make any difference at all. So maybe you can help me with that. Because I found myself in situations where I'm kind of applying for some sudden funding, and then I realized, wait a minute, I should be giving out this funding, not applying for this. So that's a little dilemma for me. And then I wanted to find out if online sale is going to be easy for you, especially with, I think it's bulky. I don't know how much it weighs, especially being that it's wood. So those are my 2 concerns.
Okay.
But I love the product.
Thank you. So what happened after the pandemic happened, we lost all our staff. So some of the services that we once offered, I now need training to be able to continue offering those services to our customers. We also had lots of customers that made deposits, and because we hire staff to be able to communicate with customers, we pre-ordered some of the materials that were needed to build some of those products. By giving a refund to those customers, we in turn lost a lot of money from last year, right? So we're in the negatives based on having to give so much refund to customers for products we already pre-ordered for them, right? So that's kind of one of the reasons why we are requiring the funding, to be able to retrain ourselves to continue offering the same level of service we once offered.
Okay, so what about the second piece? Do you intend to have a huge online sort of sale structure, or it will just be in stores?
So currently, we are working on e-commerce for our website. We are still in testing phase. It's available right now, but we're having some technical difficulties in that customers from Ottawa are trying to order, customers from Edmonton are trying to order, and they're trying to purchase the item, but we're not quite ready for that as yet, because, like I said, because we lost some staff, we don't have the education and knowledge be able to move the way we once moved. So we're waiting to learn.
And how big is it?
How big is
the piece? I know you said 7 feet tall, right? But in terms of the weight.
How what?
how big, what's the weight? Is it easy to ship? Like, I'm just wondering if someone was to order, how much it will cost for shipping?
So we use a freight shipping company. So it really depends on the item that they're ordering. If it's as simple as a marquee letter, it can weigh anywhere from 10 to 20 pounds. But if they're ordering,
that's not that much. Okay.
Their larger product, then would use a skid, and we get a flat rate shipping fee for shipping skids.
Perfect. Okay. Great response. So now we're going to move over to Sylvie, please. 2 minutes.
Hello, Elena. So congratulations for this presentation. I love the mission with the autism, and I really love this the presentation. You mentioned that you lost almost 75% of your revenues. 2020 has been really difficult on the business with the pandemic. So, and you mentioned that you're looking to grow to $500,000 for this year. I just want to know, how will you be doing it in this new COVID life? What is your strategy for growing the business, knowing that with the COVID, it makes, all what's the plan for your growth for this year, 2021 and above? So I haven't really clearly understood how you will be going to a 500 revenues in terms of business. Yes, and I am more visual, so I would have loved to have numbers, projections, just to see how the business is growing. In terms of, so, but great presentation, Elena.
Thank you. So we're moving into production. So we're looking to sell to other markets, not only the Canadian market, but the US market, and several markets in different countries that constantly reach out to us. When they see our products online, they always inquire, do you sell these items? Can you make it for us? Can you teach us how to build it? So that's why we have secured a manufacturing company in the Philippines that can design and make all these products that we currently offer to other companies. And they are currently working with us to make a barcoding system so that we can sell the product. And they're working with us for branding the boxes that the packages, that the shipment will come in. So that's part of our scaling our business into production. So despite if COVID is still hindering from actually setting up for parties and events, we can still sell the products to people who are interested in having them.
Great response. Now, the last feedback will be from Karen. I'm really looking forward to our feedback. Karen, please take the stage.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Eliana. That was fantastic. And a lot of my comments, actually, you heard as Catherine was speaking, I thought that we were sharing a mind. We had very similar thoughts. So I really enjoyed your responses to the other judges' feedback because that brought a question for me, actually. I think you described your team, and I was really impressed at hearing the way that you and your husband, and then your administrator, and you had the two setup people. But then you described in response to a question that that you want to be retrained, I think, to do some of that. And that's one of the ways that you'd use the $10,000. Is that my understanding? Do you no longer have your staff?
So yes, that's right. So we no longer have, we had 6 delivery setup crew prior to the pandemic, and we've now lost all of them. And so, and we also had another young lady that did our booking for us. And one of the staff, they did the customization for vinyl prints and online targeting. So that now I have to learn, and I have found a system that can automate all these processes. So once I get trained on learning how to build that automated system, it wouldn't be as much work for me as it was before, where we were doing everything manually. This system that we will now have in place will do everything automated for us.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And I guess, oh, sorry, go ahead. Did you have another?
No, but it does require some funds to purchase the system, to get training on the system, to get the systems installed so that we can better service our customers.
Okay, that makes sense. And I mean, I think, so my overall is, I love your story. I love the way that you shared your experience with your son and the genesis of your company. That was really compelling, and your social purpose to give back to other families. And in terms of the presentation, I loved the way you started. It was such a great hook. I just think that you used your props so effectively at the very beginning. And then after that, I think the way that you were positioned with them didn't quite work. They didn't really look like your backdrop as intentionally as it had been at the beginning. And agree with having slides for the numbers. But I think that maybe it's almost like three different things. The beginning, the hook, and then maybe planting yourself in between two of your fantastic action figure props, and then having the numbers as well. But I wouldn't abandon your start altogether. It was very compelling. Thank you very much. I appreciated it. Enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Karen. Thank you so much, Karen. We'll now take the last feedback from Lola.
Hi. Hi, Elena. I thought that was very good. I really enjoyed your presentation, especially the way you started it and relating it to your child. I thought that was really good. Like most of the judges have said, I'm just going to echo some of the questions or concerns they have. I'm a mother as well, and I'm very particular about products, you know, what you buy for your child and what they put in their mouth, what they touch and all of that kind of stuff. And I think I heard you saying you're subcontracting this to companies in the Philippines. Have you done some form of study in terms of the product they're going to use, like the coloring, the painting? What have you done to ensure that they are not toxic or dangerous as kids touch it and put it in their mouth? I'm not sure if you mentioned something like that in your presentation.
Yes. But the products that they use, they've already been approved by, I can't really say the company name, but
as long as you know, in terms of you've done your research in terms of they are not going to be toxic or dangerous, that's one of the concerns I will have as a mother.
That's very important, especially because, like I said, I have an autistic son who puts any and everything everywhere. So it's important to me also as a mother. I also have a young baby, and it's important for me. Sometimes I bring them into the store that all our products are safe and eco-friendly that we use. The products, the base of the products are made with clay and then painted with acrylic. And then when they come here, they're fumigated and recoated with a sealer that we use here. So the final top coat, we personally seal it so we know exactly what is on there.
Very good. Thank you for that answer. And another one that I would like to add is, since your product is going into, I mean, you're thinking of it going to movies or, you know, something children can learn from, you might want to consider other products like books, courses, something to keep them engaged in the whole continuum. So whenever they are with you, they learn, they're engaged, and they are more productive in terms of growth as well. I would like to also see some visual projection like other coaches has mentioned. I think it's good. You just want to consider other products. So even if people don't, I mean, they can't buy the product in real terms, they can still read from you, they can watch things from you in terms of indirect services. Not everybody will want a bulky thing. And you want to consider insurance as well when you ship to different countries.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This is where I'm going to end this category because the next one will begin in 2 minutes. Amazing. Thank you so much to our wonderful entrepreneurs, judges. We will now connect. If you can now connect privately to discuss. And I know you've got a difficult decision to make, but now if you can log into your deliberation room, that would be great. The next session will begin in 2 minutes at 5:55. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. We are now at our final category, COVID-19 Pivot Innovation, which is for a business at any stage of development that has made a remarkable pivot during the COVID-19 pandemic to modify, So this is for businesses at any stage of development that has made a remarkable pivot during the COVID-19 pandemic to modify their business model, provide new services, and or tap into new markets. Our entrepreneurs will be Abba Motley, Kadesha Powell, and Stacy Martin. After each of the pitches, there will be time for our esteemed judges to share feedbacks. And our judges are Dr. Yvonne Kango, founder, Breakers Health; Raluca Lupo, accounts manager, BDC; Michael Pinnock, treasurer at the BBPA. Our next judge is Dorothy Brewer. I'm sorry, that's okay. Dorothy Brewer, PDGS Fondatrice. You know what? I'll skip that. And when she's making her feedback, she could let us know which organization. Donna Wowin, who is the CEO of the Fairway Group. Again, for French participation, please select the interpretation button at the bottom right of your screen and choose the French translation option. All three pitches for this category will be delivered in English. So I would ask that we get started. Let's begin with Abba Motley. Abba, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Perfect. Please take the stage.
Thank you. 4 generations of women are the backbone of the Chimère personal care brand. It began with my great-grandmother, Margaret, back in the Caribbean. She passed down by word of mouth some of her Caribbean beauty regimes, like using cucumber peel on the face to refresh and tone the skin, and fresh aloe and egg whites in face mask. 35 years ago, my grandmother Merle, who was a hairdresser and esthetician, urged my mother Cheryl, a biochemist, to leave her job and make natural products for us, the people of the Caribbean. She took the leap and started Chimère. My name is Dr. Abba Motley, and I grew up in the business. From a young age, I was nicknamed the little boss, helping my mom with trade shows and manufacturing to aesthetics and management. I continue the legacy today, expanding the Caribbean reach internationally. Those women instilled in me a business acumen, but also the importance of building and supporting community in the business. As someone who grew up using the products, until I moved to Canada for university, I was unaware of the lack of availability and accessibility of natural beauty products for people of color. I could not see representation in the advertising, and many of the products that were marketed contained a lot of ingredients that I was unsure of. The result, I would purchase something unsure on how it would work for my skin. So the next time I went to Trinidad, I made sure I stockpiled on my products. 22 years later, the market has made little progress. Currently, people of color make up 22% of Canada's population, and by 2036, it is expected that this figure will rise to 40%. Yet this percentage is not reflected in the variety and availability of products seen today. African Americans are projected to spend $1.5 trillion in 2021 on personal care products. This is because Black consumers continue to make the switch from general products to those that specifically cater to them. The market is there, but the awareness is needed. Chimère has been making products in the Caribbean for 35 years, and this represents a great testing ground due to the diverse population of various skin tones and hair types. Our family makes through the Chimère brand over 60 products for skin, body, and hair, a trifactor in personal care. We not only understand this market, we live it. Our brand upholds inclusivity, community, and ingredient simplicity, while leaving behind a legacy of environmental sustainability. I opened my first of 2 Chimère spa locations in Kingston in 2013 and the second in 2018. The spas were a great vessel to introduce the Chimère products to this new market through our services. This is the manner that we sold our products as a business. It was a customer directly through our brick and mortar spa locations. We had a website, but it was just to display our spa menu and for people to buy gift vouchers for services. When COVID hit, we had to switch gears. We started to actively market our products online in Kingston with at-home product boxes, curating a spa experience that we would bring home. Some examples of the boxes were facial in a box, a manicure in a box, a maskne box. And in keeping with our sustainability mandate, we used bamboo boxes to package them. These packages struck a chord, especially during COVID, because people are yearning for some respite and self-care, and we were able to provide that. As an example, one client, Sue, a single mom who had recently moved to Kingston, sent us this message. She said, "I, like many people, have been coping with full-time work and partial childcare. The kindness and patience you had with me in my order was incredible. Then I tried your products. They are amazing. Even after one use, my curls are 1,000 times improved. My dry lips feel so much better and my face feels clean and refreshed. I am so impressed, I told all my friends." We also realized the impact of COVID on other business, so we collaborated and made boxes like a YGK box to support Kingston businesses and a Callaloo box to support Black and Indigenous creators. Based on the success in Kingston, we began to mirror this approach to audiences in the Greater Toronto area with brand awareness videos of our story and product catalogs. We specifically targeted mothers of color between ages 25 to 65 with household incomes greater than $150,000. It was a great success. Before COVID, our online sales was $4,400. And after COVID, for the same period, our online sales was $76,000. That's an increase of 1,600%. Our return on ad spend has been typically over 400% and increases as we increase our market efficiencies. And in addition, we have through these campaigns been able to attract the attention of Canadian retailers. In May 2020, 82% of our online sales were new customers and 18% were returning customers. The cost to acquire that customer was $20. Currently, 42% of our online sales are from returning customers at a cost of $16. The average order of a customer is $100. These initial findings show that there's clearly interest, but also lots of opportunities for efficiency and growth. Our awareness campaigns are working, but we do not want to survive, we want to thrive. We need to continue the momentum from these results and to grow to prevent losing the progress we've made. Moving forward, and with these funds, our focus is twofold. One, to continue to grow our direct-to-customer approach through paid awareness campaigns and to build our customer base worldwide. And two, to continue engaging in discussions with partners to sell through their online channels globally. Our goal is to make Shamir an international household name for personal care for people of color. Thank you.
Wow, right on time. Great presentation. Thank you so much. We'll open the floor for judging remarks, starting from Yvonne. Dr. Yvonne Kango, please.
Okay. Hi, Abba. Great presentation.
Thank you.
Okay. So I really like how you have, like it's something that stemmed from the family, your grandma and your mom. And so, and it's a natural beauty product for Blacks. What I want to find out is, how do you stand out from the rest of other people out there who have natural beauty products? That's one question I have. And then the second one was, you did mention that you targeted people with an income more than 160,000. What happens to those who don't have that much money? So
Yeah,
otherwise, it was a great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. So for the first part of the question, what makes us stand out is that we have been doing this. We have been living this for 35 years and we have the data that backs it up. We know that our product works. We use ingredients that are natural, that use Caribbean inspired ingredients. And that's what makes us different. It's a family thing, the story behind it, that is a continuation and a multi-generational business of Black women who have continued to bring something forward, and that it's not new, and that there is then agency to the product, that it works and that we can bring that there. And with respect to what we use in terms of giving the pitch of who we would be marketing to, over the past year, we were able to get data that was geofenced based on where we were able to sell online. From that data, we were able to get Prism profiles of who it is that were buying our products. And that was the profile that we used to mirror, because we were able to see that this is a target market that would be accessible to that was resonating with our online sales and the marketing that we were given. And so we can't go broad, and just based on the data, we started with what we knew was working, and that is why we were sticking with that, because it was producing the results of that 400% return on ad spend.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Great presentation, well needed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yvonne, for that feedback. Over to Raluca.
Hi, it was a great presentation. I love that you're using natural products. That's something I love to do. I just wanted to ask you, do you plan to target other markets, or is it mainly for the Black women? Or
we also tried to target. So as I said, we got that geo fence data, so we were able to see our top 3. The first one was a multicultural one that is specifically for families, mixed race and that type of thing. But also we had a big baby boomers market, and we also had a big country living market. And so we used those groups, and those would be the people that we were targeting, and we will use that and replicate and see through market efficiency. So based on our return on ad spend and kind of how it progresses, we would be able to fine tune that market so that we can see where it is fitting in or not, and then make discretionary decisions based on that. Because we have limited funds, right? So you have to be strategic with where we're spending it. And so if we know this is where it is right now, as we build it up, that's where we're going to put the dollars in.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome response. Now we'll move to getting our feedback from Michael. Michael, how you here? Michael? Okay, Dorothy, can you give your feedback, please?
Yes, thank you. So it's Dorothy Ho. So Abba, I really like your presentation. It was very, I like your energy. I felt it. I don't know if it's the wall, but I felt it. And I like also that the fact that you're using also natural product, because I'm allergic to everything that is preservative agents. But also I like the fact that you mentioned that your packages was using with natural materials like bamboos. And so for me, again, thanks for me to see that you have also this ecology conscience. Well, it shows a lot for me. Now, what I would like to know is, I went to your website, everything is perfect. And you say that you're going to try to be, your market to be more international. As you know, even if you talk about Black woman, there's also the Francophone woman. So I went on your website and everything is in English. And I think that with a great product that you have, you should not neglect it to make sure that it will be translated also in French, because here in Canada, it's bilingual, but that will open you more to worldwide, knowing that the Francophone market, only in Africa, it's more than 2,000 million people, 200 million people, but also here in Quebec or even in Canada, I think that you will be able to reach more Black women if you're thinking about international. So my question was, you said a little bit, but I would like to hear you more about that. What would you do with the price that you will be winning?
So a couple of good points that I can touch on. So our actual products have both French and English on it. But we started, as I said, our main business was the spa. So obviously with COVID, we had 17 employees who were face-to-face, and then all of a sudden that was gone. And so the funds were limited. So we leveraged like digital media grants that we were able to do a website, but translation costs are fairly expensive. So it is the intention to have it not only in French, but also in Spanish and Mandarin, but that just takes time and money. And so I think as we continue to build up that market, we would be able to address those issues. But our products itself do have both English and French on them. But that is something that is very much top of mind, because as you say, Africa and other countries, that is very much so an easy target, because it is very similar to the Caribbean, and we can definitely share those products that way. And that is where we are going. And that's why we did already have the step of the product labeling. And so we're getting there. It just requires money. And so I think as we continue to grow, that's kind of the next step of where we will be going.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that feedback and for that great response. Now we will go over to Donna for our feedback.
Thank you so much. Great presentation, great background and color. A couple of things.
Yeah.
You talked about moving from 18% returning customers to 42%. That conversion, I mean, how will you deal with converting first-time customers to returning customers, particularly since we were in a pandemic, and so I would have expected your returning customers to be like a little bit higher. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
So you mean my current returning to 42 or the original?
I thought you said 42% were returning customers on your website, and right.
So initially it was 18%.
Understood.
Now it's up to 42. So what we do to get our returning customers is that we have set up Klaviyo, which is a CRM that gives out automated messages. So we're able to say that if somebody buys a cleanser, we get feedback. We say it's been a month since you've been there. And we have set up flows that kind of automates that type of transaction to get people to come back to buy it. And that's how we were able to increase it from 18 to 42. I'm not sure if I've quite answered your question, but I think
it answers it partially enough for now. So my second question is, your products are all natural, so no preservatives?
We have in some of them plant-based preservatives because there's oil and water, and so you must have something, but they're natural and they're EU compliant natural preservatives. Part of the challenge is our products are still made in Trinidad and then we ship them up here, and so there's no real certifying body that we can do that. But the end goal of this is that we want to have a factory in Canada, and so that would allow us to make sure that we have some of those regulations there. But for now, that is what it is.
Okay. And my final question is this, and it goes back to the $160,000 sort of being I think that's a family income. That's sort of your sweet spot right now. So that's high for Canada. When you go globally, doesn't that price you out of a lot of markets because it's like a luxury brand once you move outside of Canada?
I think that those particular figures and the marketing were based on what we were doing in Canada. So we have spas and online stores in Caribbean, and we have been doing it a lot longer online. And I also do that end of it. And so the price point will be different.
The price points are different.
Yeah, and so that will vary depending on the country. So this was based on data that was collected from Prism, which is connected from geo-targeting of an existing Canadian market, and it's based on that. I think depending on the market, we will switch those values given what the data presents us with.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Amazing feedback. Thanks a lot. Now we will move to our next entrepreneur. And our next entrepreneur is Kadisha Powell. Kadisha, are you ready?
Yes, hello.
Perfect. So you can present your screen if you have a PowerPoint, and you can take the stage.
Okay. Please let me know that you're able to see the screen.
I am able to see it clearly.
Perfect. Okay. So my name is Kadisha Powell, and I'm the 24-year-old founder of CareKit, my menstrual health and wellness business. Growing up, I was always dealing with difficult periods. Between the pain, the vomiting, and the leaking mishaps, they could be an uncomfortable experience, which, based on research, many can relate. In the summer of 2019, while on my period, I was sitting there snackless, padless, pretty much regretting that I wasn't better prepared. But that would be the last time. With my degree in public relations and my background in community outreach, I combined my skills to create a business that services those with needs while giving back to those in need. At CareKit, we prepare custom packages for all people with periods, and they include a variety of items for menstrual care, snack cravings, self-care, pain relief, and so much more. At the beginning of my business development, I researched similar subscription brands to compare ideas. I identified what was missing from their packages that I would want to see in our menstrual packages. I then conducted a 300-person study to determine what variables I could address through my product and my service. The survey determined certain menstruation pain points, the demand for sustainable and organic products, and the preferred price range for menstrual care items. As you can see from the poster behind me, 22% of respondents felt that they were adequately prepared for their period, which left a lot of room for my products and service. Following this research, I also came across alarming information about period poverty in Canada, which alludes that those who can't afford period items use emergency alternatives like old t-shirts, rags, and socks. Since we are committed to eliminating the barrier for access to period products, we donate 10% of every sale to homeless shelters in Toronto. Customers can visit our site to stay updated on our growing contributions. It's necessary that our customers feel that purchasing our kit is a valuable experience. Thus, we focus our impact around 3 C's: custom, comfort, and convenience. Custom, we created a questionnaire that allows customers to form their perfect kit. Comfort, we offer a variety of menstrual and wellness products and treats. Convenience, customers can select local contactless delivery or shipping to arrive right in time for their cycle. Affordability is also a key component of our structure. We purchase our inventory through wholesale manufacturers like Real Canadian Superstore and then sell them at an affordable price. In 2020, we had to elevate our focus to what you could suggest is our 4th C, COVID. During the quarantine and difficult times, it was our goal to make every customer feel unique and appreciated through the experience. Now, with every kit, they can expect a handwritten card, free personalized samples, and overall aesthetically pleasing packaging. We also added a therapeutic element to the kit by collaborating with a Canadian Black female-owned company. In an effort to stand out from our competitors, we hired a freelancer to help us decorate the surface with wax imitating items. So here I have s'mores, so you can see I have chocolate bars, marshmallows, and graham cracker shavings. We hit our major milestone with these candles when we sold out over the holidays. We identified our target market as 17 to 28-year-old women and non-binary people who menstruate. This age group is more receptive to candid and honest forms of marketing, and we want to show menstruation exactly as it is, sometimes painful and messy. A typical customer is someone who is social media savvy, purchases organic and sustainable products, shops small, local, and/or minority-owned businesses, and supports diverse and inclusive brands. To reach this target audience, we utilize digital marketing, which consists of producing relatable and educational content, sharing newsletters to our growing email list, incorporating influencer marketing, using keywords to increase online visibility, and expanding our reach on new social platforms like Clubhouse and TikTok. In addition to these methods, this year we plan to release a bi-weekly column and a podcast focusing on raising awareness of menstruation-related issues, as well as launching an ambassador program so that we are generating organic traffic to our site. We have been active for just over a year, and we've generated about $3,000 in revenue. This year, we are projected to double that amount with a goal of $6,000. Through 2022, we anticipate that our revenue will increase to approximately $15,000 and with a break-even mark of $60,000. And by 2023, we're hoping for $25,000. To reach these long-term goals, we need to increase our average order revenue from $25 to $40 and be servicing a minimum of 50 customers per month. We plan on securing each benchmark by frequently adapting our growth and marketing strategy. We look forward to expanding our brand with leak-proof menstrual underwear, boxers, and briefs, and lavender and CBD-infused pain relief creams. Over the next 3 years, I aim to employ 2 to 3 staff to support our business growth, and then I can transition to running CareKit at a full-time capacity. In essence, CareKit is an access point for tangible menstrual care items and intangible resources. Our platform invokes a period-positive environment where everyone can feel comfortable engaging in wholesome conversation. As the first business owner in my family, I'm learning as CareKit grows, and there's so much that I want to do. This is just the beginning. Thank you for your time.
Excellent presentation. Thank you so much for being right on time. That is great. So we're going to start with the judge's remark, and I'll start off with Donna.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I have a daughter who has a friend, and it was the first time I experienced how difficult sometimes it is to manage a period when she came for a sleepover, and we're like, oh my goodness, it was painful and difficult for her. So great idea. So you, 16,000 is your break even.
Yes.
In order to get to 25, you need to increase the cost of your monthly product from $25 to $40
in order to
have $25,000 in revenue. Am
I
I missing those numbers? Do you have a plan to increase the cost, the monthly cost of your product?
Yes. So with add-ons, we plan to increase the cost. So currently we have a variety of treats and different menstrual care items, but they're a bunch of third-party products. We'll be releasing our own line of different organic washes and creams, skincare products. We're going to branch out into different markets. And by having those add-ons, when people are purchasing their necessary items, they'll also be adding on their desirables. So through the questionnaire process on our site, it brings you from tampons and pads and takes you all the way to, do you want to add on snacks? Do you want to add on skincare and different things like that? And we're projecting that through those add-ons, we're going to keep increasing the average cost per customer, and they'll just enjoy getting all these items per month.
So you're increasing, sorry, and this is my just misunderstanding. So you're increasing the average spend per customer with the add-ons?
Yes.
And you're increasing that from 25 to 40?
Yes.
And do you need that increase to meet your next target of $25,000?
Yes.
Okay. And your customers are 17 to 28?
Yes.
So the 17 to, you've already done your market research so that the 17 to 20-year-olds are still going to be able to afford that increase that to $40 a month, the spend on that?
Yes.
Okay.
So what we've noticed, especially with our candle editions, they sell it for themselves at $25. So these have been add-ons to period products that people are already getting. So in general, we're seeing some average costs of about $50, but that's only if they're just adding the period products with the candles. And these are an additional cost, yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Excellent. So the next feedback we're going to get will be going, yes, over to Dorothy now for our feedback.
Hello, Kedisha. Bravo. Bravo for having a company or starting something talking about the menstrual. Now, if I understand, you selling box kit where you can find tampons, pads, candle, skin products. That's right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. How many pads and tampons can we find in the box?
So we match the amount that people would normally get at certain drug retailers. So for example, if you were to go to Shoppers Drug Mart or Walmart, there are certain packages that contain about 16 tampons, and those sell for about $4 to $5. So we match that exact number to make sure that customers are still getting their value within the box. So we do about 16 tampons, and then for pads, it's about 10 to 12.
Okay, okay, perfect. And now, why people will buy your kit? Why a teenager will get a box instead of, going to the store and get pads or tampons?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's really about the experience. I know for a fact that a lot of those of the younger generation, they're still going through puberty. They might be a little uncomfortable going into the drugstore to purchase these items. And so receiving the box in itself is a little bit of discretion. They can be more comfortable getting the products that they need. But as I mentioned, we did elevate that experience. So along with getting the personalized card, we do provide little gifts here and there. So one of the gifts that we give with each each kit is something like a scrunchie. And a lot of our customers will come from social media. So we'll actually go into the back end, look at their social media, pinpoint what colors they affiliate with, and provide them a scrunchie that aligns with their interests to make sure that when they get a kit, they open it. It's an unfortunate time when they're going through their menstruation, but they have the kit and it just lifts the mood.
Okay, perfect. So my last thing is, so the idea is great, but if I could suggest you something to upgrade your sales, to get more people, maybe you should try also to have like a menstrual panties inside of the box, you know, trying something different that we can find in the store. So the menstrual panties, we don't get it really often. So it's another option that you can propose to the teenager. And I know there's also the cup that you can also propose. So I think that will make your box more interesting in terms of advertising or sales.
Yeah, absolutely. I mentioned in our presentation that we really want to work on menstruation underwear, boxers, and briefs. So it'll be inclusive for all people with periods. So those who are transgender, they'll feel comfortable wearing underwear that they typically wear, which are boxers or briefs, but it'll still be protecting them during their time of need.
Yeah, but you know that also women can use menstrual underwear. You knew that?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
It'll be all three, yeah.
Okay,
That's definitely
perfect.
what we would use our money towards, is going right into that research and development and getting that started.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Thank you for that feedback. Now we will get our next feedback from Raluca.
Hi, Kadisha. It was a great presentation. I like that you use social media to try to get clients. I wanted to ask you, so will they have a monthly fee? Like, is this something that clients will order every month?
Yes, so we do offer subscriptions, and the benefit to doing our subscription are discounts. So with a monthly subscription, you get 10% off, and with an annual subscription, you get 20% off. And in about 1 or 2 years, when we grow our website, we want to incorporate a loyalty program. So if customers stay on that subscription, they actually increase the points that they earn that can go back towards other products that they want to get.
And when you say organic, will the pads and the tampons also be organic?
So the menstrual wear will be sustainable and organic. Yes, the underwear and boxers and briefs. In terms of branching out to organic tampons, that's a longer process. It takes a legal team. It takes a lot of research and development, but that would be the goal after the menstruation underwear, to launch our own brand of organic tampons and pads.
Okay, and maybe also, have you thought of using essential oils?
Absolutely, yeah. We're very interested in everything body care, skin care. We recognize that menstruation is more than just what's going on physically, but it's also mentally. So anything that can help the overall persona of a person is what we're going after.
And I also like that you used the visuals. That helped a lot. And the only thing, it was a bit harder to see when you were trying to show us your products because you were in the background, but it was
okay.
But it was a very, very good presentation.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Raluca. Now the last feedback will be coming from Dr. Yvonne. Dr. Yvonne Kango, please.
Yeah. Hi, Kadisha. Great presentation.
Thank you.
Really like the work that you're doing. There's really a need for that. And yeah, just knowing that successful people have an idea, and that's what it is. And you're setting up, you're going ahead with that to fill that gap. The question I want to ask you also is, I think you did mention the $40 a month. Can people choose to get like less of the pack? If, let's say, someone between 17 to 28 years old, for example, if they can only afford $20 a month, can you reduce what is in the pack?
Yes. So last year, we initially launched 3 different columns for our pricing strategy. We gained feedback from those that said that a lot of what they wanted to pick just did not fall into those columns. So we removed that altogether, and our questionnaire allows you to add any product that you want, and that's it. So if you just wanted to add 1 pack of tampons, that's all you would get, and it would add on a subscription basis. So every month you can go back and choose to take items off, add items back on, increase what you want, decrease. It's completely up to the customer.
Okay, thank you. My next one too is I'm really impressed on how you did like the needs assessments, like you went through and did a 300-person survey. That's really innovative. Like I'm into evidence-based medicine, and it's always good to see how people take that extra step to see what their potential clients need. And yeah, so also what I like is also the 3 C's. You did talk about the custom, the comfort, the convenience. I'm really happy how you have people at heart to put it, to put it in that way. One last thing I want to suggest is, have you thought about maybe having, when women go through that period, or girls, when they're going through their period, they're grumpy, they're moody. Have you thought about adding some empowering words into those packages? I think that would make a big difference.
Yes, I'm so glad you mentioned that. With our candle provider, the person that we're collaborating with, we want to release a line of affirmation candles. So with each candle, as it melts, there'll be a message on the inside that gives some words of affirmation. So this is, it's still in development. We're really excited, but we really feel that it's going to help with the overall experience of receiving a candle, and it'll set us apart from our competitors for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This is really exciting.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that feedback and for that, yes, the inspirational words. Thank you, Dr. Yvonne. I like that. So now we move over to our final entrepreneur for the day, Stacy Martin Buffy Yeboah. I hope I got your last name right. I'm so sorry. I'll stay on Stacy. So Stacy, are you ready for us?
I am ready. Thank you.
Perfect. So you can take that stage now. Thank you.
This week has been emotional. And to admit that is terrifying, because in business, you're not supposed to cry. And if you do, you would certainly never admit that to an audience of peers, customers, investors, and judges. I didn't go to business school, but I'm pretty sure that Business Essentials 101 provides lessons on how to stifle vulnerability, choke back tears, and keep separate your personal feelings from your persona. But at this period of time when businesses are closing, livelihoods are being lost, injustice is top of mind, and inequality is on full display, I find it impossible to carry on business as usual. I'm Stacy Martin, founder and CEO of Stacy Martin Lifestyle, a Canadian luxe loungewear company that is reinventing the look of luxury by designing beautiful, sustainable, made in Canada clothing that bridge the gap in the market between fitness and fashion apparel. The designs are innovative and unique, comfortable yet professional, made with t-shirt and sweatshirt fabrics that give you the freedom to move towards what matters most and inspire you to make memories in them. In 2020, prior to COVID, I rebranded the business with a goal of expansion. I had built the business to a pre-money valuation of $5.5 million, was recognized by the elites of New York Fashion Week and the everyday soccer mom. I was ready to take off. Scaling would be simple. Identify all the challenges in the fashion industry and build a brand to solve them. Brick and mortar stores closing, disposable garments poisoning our planet, unethical manufacturing practices running rampant, comfort and style being at odds, and systemic racism stifling creativity and standing in the way of opportunity. Stacy Martin Lifestyle would be the solution. But COVID-19 had other plans. Overnight, all of my revenue streams were cut off. My storefront temporarily closed its doors. Trade shows, wholesales, fashion shows, and all other revenue streams came to a screeching halt. Everything that I had worked for had slipped from within my grasp. Like many other entrepreneurs, I felt like giving up. And then add to that the racial injustice and the constant images of the Black and brown bodies abused and discarded, I was paralyzed. Mustering the ingenuity required to keep my business afloat and the emotional strength to cope with the racial injustice, I had a moment of clarity. I saw my purpose. I had to pivot, but my pivot had to be more than just a strategy to grow the business. It also had to include my yearning to affect meaningful change.
To put things into perspective, remember when I said I had been emotional? Well, the reason for it on the surface seems so trivial. 6 days ago, a Black business professional coached me on this very pitch. And until 6 days ago, I have never been taught or coached by a professional who looked like me. Why is this significant? Well, just imagine being in business for 15 years, arriving at this point without ever having seen representation of yourself. When you look at my competition, the top media-supported, industry-recognized Canadian fashion labels, Lululemon, Lolay, Aritzia, Canada Goose, and Rudsack, not one of their leaders is the same race or gender as me. So 6 days ago, when I saw my reflection, I cried. I felt the power of representation. So powerful that I chose to be free with you today. This is not just about scaling my business that will, on a multinational level, counter the problems of fashion. It's about opening the doors to other diverse leaders and uplifting a community in such a way that by the time I'm mentoring another minority business leader, nobody is surprised by the color of my skin, nor are they moved to tears. I have my work cut out for me. With only 14% of major fashion brands being run by a female executive and less than 0.5% of Black female entrepreneurs receiving venture capital funding, I have come to terms with being at a disadvantage, but I'm not discouraged. As crazy as
Just so you know, your 6 minutes.
This pandemic has pushed my expansion. The timing for all the social unrest and injustice has fueled my desire to make this so much bigger and beautiful than just luxurious clothing. Not having easy access to capital will not stop my dreams. I'm raising $1 million from community equity crowdfunding, and the proceeds will be used to hire staff, increase inventory, marketing, and build a 70% online sales strategy that will give Stacey Martin Lifestyle the chance to stand beside the competition and the $30 billion Canadian fashion industry. Clothing is so much more than something you wear. Clothing can transform the way you feel, move, and interact with the world around you. Clothing can capture a feeling and propel your imagination. Remember where you wore me. Thank you.
Wow, I love the last statement. Remember me when you wear me. Thank you so much, Stacey. We will hear feedback from Dr. Yvonne.
Wow. Hi, Stacey.
Hello, how are you?
Wow, what a pitch. I was almost in tears listening to you, the passion, everything put into it. That is amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, I don't even know where to start. I'm still just just thinking about the passion and everything. But yeah, I just want to ask you a question. What's your target market? I don't know if I really got that. I know you know it has to do with the certain Black population and all that. But what's like the age group? Maybe I missed that.
Yeah, our age range for the target market is right now it's predominantly women, and it's between the ages of 30 and 45 are our predominant customers at the moment. We are looking at pushing that as well upwards because we know a lot of people 55 years to 65 years are also shopping quite a bit, and we will start another line that's for the younger demographic as well.
Oh, okay, thank you. And so how are you different? What is unique about your products?
The uniqueness is that it's all, first of all, it's all sustainable. So all the fabric is custom milled. We have the fabric milled here in Canada. So we work with different mills in Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. The fabric is made from bamboo fabrics, eucalyptus fiber, organic cotton, and it's designed to be bridging the gap between fitness and fashion clothing. So when you think about fitness clothing, you are in this piece that you necessarily don't want people seeing you in, or you're in fashion clothing, they don't always use the most fabrics that feel comfortable on your bodies. So we've blended the pieces together so that you're in kind of fitness fabrics, but fashion designs. So for instance, the dress that I have on today and the mannequins in the back, I'm gonna put this down so you can see me. This dress is made out of an organic t-shirt fabric. And so it's tailored in a nice business kind of dress looking, but it feels really comfortable. I feel that every time that if your body can exude the feeling that you feel, you look better in your clothing than just having something that's strength, like that you're feeling that you're tied up in, or that the fabric doesn't breathe with your skin.
Oh, okay, thank you. Last one, is it, did you say it's environmental friendly? Like,
Yeah, it's all eco-friendly. Yes, all the pieces are eco-friendly and they're all sustainable.
Awesome, thank you very much.
Thank
Looking
you.
forward to seeing what you will become. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Thanks, Yvonne. Over to Raluca.
Hi, a very captivating presentation.
Thank
Very
you.
good. I'm happy that it's made in Canada. I think that's important. So it's just, you didn't have a chance to really talk about, I guess you haven't started yet, the projection of the sales, how you plan to target the market. I know you're going to do some marketing. I suppose a lot you're going to invest online. How do you plan to
Scale the brand? So we're right now doing an equity crowdfunding. We're raising $1 million to provide, to be able to scale the brand. Within that, so the equity crowdfunding, the products will be manufactured this summer, and we're looking to launch in fall of 2021. So that's this year. We have a collaboration, official collaboration with Nevis Tourism Authority. So we'll be doing the launch over there, but also bridging that gap as well and making it so that the clothing is accessible through the Caribbean as well as in Canada. And the reach is going to be, our projections for next year for 2022 are $1.2 million.
Great. Again, great presentation.
Thank you.
Excellent. So the next feedback will be coming from Dorothy.
Hello, Stacy.
Hi.
Hi. I love the passion that you had during your presentation. Also, I like the person you are, the way you answer to Yvonne about the dress when you show the dress. Well, that's where I wanted to bring I wanted to comment more. I wish we had more information about your company during the presentation, because I totally understand what you're feeling and the fact that you had a mentor, a Black person. I can understand that, and that's the reality. And right now with this competition, it's a great privilege to do the pitch in front of people who know the market of Black people, and where you're going to see some judges who look like you. But at the end of the day, we're still in the business. So how you can sell your product, and I'm pretty sure that you have great product. I saw the model behind you. I wanted to hear more about that, the fabrics that you're using. So you answer some of the question about with Yvonne and Rapuka, je crois, Raluca. So, but I wanted to hear that during your presentation, your 6 minutes of your presentation. That's my advice. And so more about the market, the sales, your financial projection, and I'm interested to know more about your clothing. You say it's fitness, it's comfortable, I can see myself wearing your clothes, but sell me more. You gave me a taste, but you leave me on my I'm still starving. Tu m'as laissé sur ma faim. So that's my advice. Next time, focus a little bit more about your business, and I'm pretty sure that you're gonna kick out, because, like I say, we can feel your passion. But I wanted to hear more about your business.
Yeah, I decided I have 2 pitch decks, one that I run for business professionals only. When I was doing this pitch, I really wanted to talk about the COVID pitch and the COVID pivot, because I feel like in my world, for how long I've been in this business, it's an actual thing where there's a disadvantage for Black female entrepreneurs. And so I felt like, yes, I have my pitch deck. I actually asked if I can submit that to the judges, because the pitch deck has all the information of the projections. We made $1 million in sales. We have our projections of what our 3-year plan is. But right now was really about the information that we're at a disservice with 0.5% of women, Black women getting equity crowdfunding, we can't actually get to that next level. Not saying that it doesn't matter what the product is, but the product, if we can't get to that next level, it's doing us a disservice just because we can't, that pivot that I realized really has to be known and identified. And so that's why I've made the pitch that way.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Excellent. Thanks a lot. So the last feedback we'll be getting today from this category will be from Donna.
So thank you so much. I agree with everything everyone has said about you were quite passionate. I'm now actually curious about your pushback on the feedback that you should have told us a little bit more about your business. So I'm not going to ask those questions because I've now heard the pushback. I do have a question though about your price point, because I mean, that certainly didn't come through. I have your age, 30 to 45. I frankly have no idea what it means when you say it. Well, it's stuff that feels comfortable, but I think you needed a little bit more about that fitness and fashion. And this was a pitch for your business. And again, well, let me ask, what is the price point?
Our price point it ranges. So between $100 and $250 is the average median for each product.
And who's your customer?
Our customer.
Aside from age, who's your customer?
Yeah, she's an affluent woman, generally a woman, and she normally has 2 to 3 children is our average price point. Women who are having young children, we seem to have a lot of that sort of customer. And we also have a lot of people who are also retirees.
Affluent means what?
That they have an income of 50,000 to 100,000 is the average median.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that feedback. So right now, I would ask for our judges to please log on to the deliberation room, and we can then wrap up this category of the pitch competition. I want to thank you all for an amazing time. I want to thank all of our amazing entrepreneurs for presenting. Give me a sec. There's something happening here. Okay. I'd like to thank all of our amazing entrepreneurs for presenting their pitches today. It is exciting to see such a vibrant and thriving ecosystem of Black women entrepreneurs in Canada. Another big thank you to all of our esteemed judges presiding over the pitches today and providing their feedback. We will now pause for 30 minutes break, and we will begin the award presentation at 7:30 p.m. Please note that the pre-show will begin at 7:15 on a separate link. Kindly register using the link you have been provided with in the chat room, and we look forward to seeing you all in a bit. See you soon.